Hello and welcome to our painting and model making stream. Not sure if we'll get to painting today because we are building towers. This is part of a tower. We'll be making it taller. Today, this is one we made on a previous stream, and these are pieces we 3D print here on those printers just over there. If you're interested in the designs, they're on our attributions page at our website, diceanddungeons.com, under the attributions tab. So this is a prototype mock-up we did of the first one. We reinforced it with some balsa wood underneath just to make sure all the pieces had surfaces. And what we have here are a whole bunch of additional sets. So we have one more set with these upper parts. Hi, Nadia. Welcome to our painting / model making stream. We're doing D&D miniatures. We're making guard towers today. So we have two sets of these ones that don't have a top. And once we get them glued together like this, they're going to actually sit up here, like that, inside that one.
Do they fit inside?
They should. Here, hopefully. They might end up being more like this.
And it looks like they'll be more like that.
So, what we'll do, and then you have a nice tall sort of bandit guard tower. It depends on how you want to use it. But it'll look like that, ultimately. And what I'm thinking we might do is we'll assemble them, and before we attach them on top of each other, paint them.
Okay.
Because it's going to be a bit of a pain to have a whole top piece like this on it and have to go in and paint the inside. Yeah, so why don't we assemble more of these, like just the one high right now with the parts we have. Does that sound good?
Sure.
All right. And then we'll look at painting them because we have primed them already.
So we're just going to do one of these right now.
Oh, well, thank you for passing that note along to us from Char. I hope that they're doing okay and that everything turns out all right. But yeah, we've been a little worried about them, so hopefully, yeah. Thank you for passing that along to us.
So when we put these on the top, and we put these inside,
we'll want it to extend.
We probably want it to extend down so that it's in there.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh my.
Well, I hope you're doing okay. It's probably rough right now for everyone there. Yeah, I don't know what to say, but take care of yourself.
Wow. Really sorry.
Yeah. That makes me really sad. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
that's really horrible.
It's really awful.
Well, we're gonna I don't know. I need to keep doing a show, but like that's so. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, there's something, I guess, right? Um, yeah, take care of yourself. That's important right now. So we're gonna press on with the show. Keep going. I'll process that later. And make sure that you know, pass along our condolences to anyone who, knew that they watched this show and everything. We feel awful to hear that. Oh. No, it's okay. We'll keep going along, and it's good to know rather than to be left in the dark and just wonder what happened to them. So, thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, and take care.
I guess, yeah, we're just gonna keep pushing on and making our towers.
Yeah. Well,
we'll do this tower first because we know what it's supposed to look like.
So what we do here?
You okay?
Yeah, it's just always terrible.
Yeah.
Is we just put these little balsa sticks on the inside, on two sides of them, here and here and here and here,
and
then a cross piece, and then we glue them together, and then we glue all four.
Well, we glue cross pieces.
Yeah, verticals and cross pieces, and then we stick everything together and hold it until it's done.
I'm gonna butcher this name. Ilana Knight won the giveaway. They said they weren't able to attend live, but they watched on our VOD. Yeah. So it should be in the mail to them today or soon. So yeah, it's pretty exciting, and we're actually doing another giveaway for our Halloween special. It's gonna be a dice cup that you can, roll dice in, as well as a couple miniatures that we made here on the stream that we used in the Halloween special. We had some miniatures we used in that, and so we're adding 2 of those to the sort of themed giveaway.
Yeah, you probably saw us make them.
Possibly, yeah. So I think that one is going to be pretty straightforward. It's just be a follower on Twitch and DM us a code word. But we'll announce that pretty soon. Yeah. So keep an eye out for that. And we're going to be trying to do more giveaways as time goes on. We have a few things to give away. So, but our recipient of the book sounded very excited about it. So,
yeah, we're happy to have been able to do that.
Yeah, Geekified is our sponsor who provided that book for it. That one's up to Lexi, the code word. I'm guessing it's gonna be something like Halloween themed, like spooky or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's really clever. Spooky.
Yeah. Or it might be related to the title of the special, which is The Haunt at Hawthorne Manor. So it might be like Hawthorne or something. But if you follow us on Twitter or Instagram or any of our shows, as soon as we have it, we will pass it. Our cats, one is currently passed out in the other room over there. And I think the other is sleeping on the couch, but they invariably come around and yell at us while we're in the middle of doing a show.
Yeah, they usually show up at some point.
And right now our dog is barking at like a squirrel upstairs as well.
I might even go up and check to see what's going on.
Are you worried?
Oh, it's just been going on a long time. I'll be right back. And then we'll mix some epoxy.
Yeah.
And put those on.
And if you see a cat, you can bring it down. So we've just made these little balsa wood structures here. And they're gonna be glued in ultimately to be like this, because the model is a little it needed a little extra surface area for gluing, so we put in a little balsa superstructure that'll be painted over in the long run. So we're gonna do the same, and as an end piece we also have these little ladders that'll fit in here. My favorite piece, I like a classic cheese or just a pepperoni pizza. Personally, I know my dad's favorite is sausage, and Lexi's favorite is actually green peppers when it comes to pizza. So it's always hard to order. Yeah, I mean, I love a good classic cheese pizza. So we're gonna start the epoxying. We're using 5-minute epoxy, which means it hardens in 5 minutes. And it's basically the glue portion, which Dad is putting out now behind the piece. And then in the red bottle, there's a hardener, which when they mix together, starts the hardening process. Yeah, that's understandable. But I really like onions on pizza as well. That's one of my, if I was gonna do a veggie, I really like onions or mushrooms. But you hate mushrooms.
No,
pretty much across the board.
I hate them. I just don't want to eat them.
You don't hate their existence.
No.
Oh, you don't like onion? Yeah, you're like my stepfather then. My stepfather refuses to eat onions for any. The only onions he eats actually are onion rings.
Your stepfather. Your father-in-law.
Father-in-law. Sorry. I get it.
Otherwise, where would I be?
Mm-hmm. No, my father-in-law hates onions. You're allergic. Well, yeah, mushrooms are good though. Honestly, the only topping I will say absolutely no to on pizza are olives, though. They're my no-go topping for pizza. Otherwise, they're not so. It's not so bad. So, are you thinking? Since we need to make the sticks like extra long for the. Oh, you love olives? Yeah, you know what? I have nothing against people who like olives. I just personally don't really work for me.
No, yeah, olives are great.
So yeah, what we'll need to do is just measure the stick all the way down to the bottom here of the.
Yeah, really close to the bottom. So it'll just be an extension.
Yeah. And it'll just look a little funny until they're all glued together. Oh, brownies are great. My mom makes excellent brownies and has for
As long as you've been alive.
as long as I've been alive. I don't know if she made them before me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you've learned how to do it too.
Sort of. I am not the best baker. I can cook, but I am horrible at baking. Luckily, Lexi is extremely good at baking, so we have that covered. I'm she, her. My dad's he, him. And if Lexi comes around, she's also she, her. For pronouns. Thank you for asking. What are your pronouns? Just so I don't make sure I get it right. That's a tricky one to get in place. Anything but he, him. You know what? That's easy enough, honestly. Just gotta get these in place before the glue sets.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to wait for that to set up. And then I'll spread glue around the outside edges. And we'll stick on the rest of it.
Yeah. So that should just get a minute, probably, to set.
Yeah, a couple minutes.
If you want, we can measure sticks for.
Oh yeah, let's measure sticks.
So these should roughly work to be the same length. So if you want to hand me. So what we're doing here is building the superstructure for this vertical. So we want.
Probably about there.
Yeah, can you just put on?
You can be just a little short.
Yeah. About
That's
that
it.
one.
Yeah, super accurate measurement stuff.
Very accurate. Measure once, and then cut once, and then cut again, because you messed up. Right?
Yeah. Let's see if that works.
So we're making a stick like this that will go in this corner. That's the wrong one. All the way up. Yeah, it'll be a little short.
Yeah, it can be short on the bottom or the top. The top won't show.
Yeah. So it should be alright. That should work.
Okay. Well, I need, what, 8 of those?
Yes, 8. 8 of those support structures. And by the time those are all cut, these should be good. And then what we can do is glue all of those, and with the tackier glue, put these together. Yeah.
Yeah, we can try that.
Hopefully that'll work. At least balsa wood is extremely easy to cut because it's very, very light. So, peanut butter jelly is extremely good. Lexi loves peanut butter jelly. She does. She likes to up the ante on her peanut butter jelly, where you toast the bread, and then she puts butter, like regular butter, on both sides of the bread, and then on top of that puts the peanut butter and the jelly. So it's toasted buttered bread that the peanut butter jelly is on, and it makes them sort of extra melty and creamy. I personally don't really like jelly all that much. I end up just doing, I like a peanut butter sandwich, but yeah. But peanut butter jelly is a great classic.
And we need 4 of these.
4 of those, yes. So here are our extra long support sticks. It is amazing how like light balsa wood is.
I think we'd mentioned on the last show, or at least I did, that the insides of the blades on the giant wind turbines, those big white blades, is made out of balsa.
Oh yeah, for structural support, but wait. Yeah, I've been to parts of Europe, and like I'm mostly in like Central Europe, like Germany and things like that. And like yeah, peanut butter is just not really present. So I believe in the UK. Yeah, exactly. Being in America, you know, peanut butter and jelly is basically ubiquitous everywhere. Even like restaurants will have it on like menus, and they'll make like gourmet versions and stuff. But it's funny how like peanut butter just does not exist outside of the US practically. Yeah, Guten Tag. Or gluten tag, that's pretty good. That's a high gluten bread for your peanut butter jelly, right? One of our friends can't have gluten at all. I forget what the condition is called. Like, is it celiac or something where you can't have gluten?
I don't really know. I've only heard gluten intolerance, so I'm not sure.
But it's just like, oh, there's so many good. Yeah, what part of America have you been to? We're in Michigan, which is sort of the mitten-shaped state in the Midwest.
So we're working on these now?
Yeah. We'll put in the legs on all of, so we'll do 4. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Glutenitis. Yeah, I don't know the, I don't know the term, but yeah, she can't have any gluten, and like she has a bunch of other dietary restrictions, and I just feel like East Coast, so like, okay, cool, like New York, Massachusetts. But I've been there once or twice. It's really awesome over there. Although East Coast is quite a large range, I suppose. because that can go all the way down to Florida and whatnot. From like Maine to Florida, basically, is the East Coast. So, but most people, when they say East Coast, it's like New York, Boston, maybe DC, New Jersey, which are all really, really cool areas. Oh, northeast coast. Okay, so like Maine, Delaware, is it Delaware up there? New Hampshire.
Maine, New Hampshire.
Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah. Rhode Island, Vermont is not on the coast, but
in the area.
That's right. It's part of the Northeast.
Yeah, so we talk about food a lot on our show, on our stream, especially our D&D stream. I always make sure we know exactly what our characters are eating for breakfast.
There's an awful lot of crab in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, we've been in a crab city, so crab-heavy city, so there's been a lot of crab. And oh, nice, college in Boston. I have a cousin near Boston. I've always wanted to visit because I really like history, and that's a great city for history.
Well, you did, but you're probably too young to remember.
Well, yeah, I don't remember having been to Boston. Yeah, I've never really been to Rhode Island. I don't know what it's like, other than small. I know it's our smallest state. And that's about it, really. And it's on the East Coast. But I assume, being on the East Coast, it's got sort of that bleak beauty. You know, that like misty ocean kind of look, vibe to it. I see. Lots of wind. Interesting. I bet that makes sense. Let me get set up. Sorry. Juggling a lot of sticky pieces here. No, I'd love to get out to the East Coast more. I have only been to like New York and I guess DC, Washington DC counts sort of. It's a little inland.
This isn't going to make it. I have to mix a tiny little bit more to get these last 2 bits.
Okay.
It's set up.
So, it's the downside. There's some advantages of using 5-minute epoxy, which is that you don't have to wait super long, like 24 hours or something, for it to dry. The downside is it dries quickly and you end up having to get through quick. But this will give me a second to set everything. There we go. Right? Yeah, long hair is a double-edged sword for sure. On the one hand, it's nice and fun and you can do a lot of stuff with it. On the other hand, it takes a lot more to clean it. In my experience, at least. Yeah, we're still waiting on a few things, but probably get some haircut stuff done soon. I could use some when you're done with it.
Mm-hmm.
Just we're using a little isopropyl alcohol to just clean off some of the epoxy. But you know, it gets on your fingers over as you go. Alright, so these are probably set enough. Right?
Yeah.
The first ones. So I'm gonna carefully move our longer pieces here that are still setting over here. And then this is a fairly tricky procedure.
It's a pain in the butt.
It's a pain in the butt.
Because there's 4 legs.
Oh yeah, brushing long hair sucks. Or it can. I have very, very, very fine hair. So like the slightest the very slightest like breeze, it just turns into a single knot, basically, if I don't have it tied up carefully. So yeah. That's the downside with when you have fine hair. Upside is it's very soft. The downside is it is immensely annoying to detangle. So what we're going to be doing is building this platform around the central floor here. My dad is applying glue along the outer edges here and on the top of this structure. We're going to place these on opposite ends like that, and then bring the other pieces up next to it and glue it all together into one single piece all at once. We're gonna have to hold it for a minute. Oh, you have thick hair, yeah. I feel like hair is one of those things where you're just like, I hate what I have and I want what other people have. At least that's been my experience, personally. Because you're like, I'm used to... I don't like dealing with this aspect of my own hair. But... So thick hair I'm always a bit jealous of. But I'm sure it has its own problems and advantages that...
And then at a certain point, you go, hair. What is this hair of which you speak?
Well, for you.
Yeah. As it slowly and then more rapidly disappears.
That doesn't happen for all people.
No.
But you have some feelings about that, huh?
No, it's just annoying. Just one more thing to remind you. Time is marching on. Okay, so now we've got pieces.
Okay, so first we get it like this.
I'll hold it like this.
And then this is the difficult part of this model building. Alright, so I'll take this side.
And I'll take this side. And we will attempt
to line up the legs.
Line up the legs and hold them
in place
for long enough for it to set.
To get tacky. It'll probably be best to hold it by the bottoms. This side needs to. Why are we lifting it? What?
I thought you were lifting.
I thought you were.
Well, let's set it back down then. I think I have mine pretty well grabbed.
This side is not at all. This side is like inside the table, so I can't really see.
Oh, gonna rotate.
Okay. I think as long as we don't move anything ever, I think we're good. From my side, it looks good.
Yeah, looks good here too. A little extra epoxy seeping out. I'll try to wipe that off before it sets too hard.
We can always just prime over it, and it's not a huge deal. This side's getting bent in a little.
So we have to hold this now for probably 2.5 minutes. So we'll count to 120.
And try and be in a semi-comfortable position so you don't shift too much. Yeah, I always go back and forth on the long hair, short hair thing. So that got shifted. This is very exciting. Careful. If we had like a little jig or a little brace that we could just place it in, that would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, we could take like 2 hours and make a jig. You know, if we were making maybe 80 of these, it would be worth it.
Mm-hmm. But since we're just making a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized I have not had the music going in the background.
Oh.
But I will get that going when we're done adhering our... How long do you think? Another minute?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah. Extremely exciting glue work here.
Probably could do this with clothespins.
Or rubber bands or something.
Yeah. Or not.
Or just do it by hand because we're only doing a little.
I think your left hand needs to be squeezed together a little more on the top.
I was having a lot of separation problems on the bottom.
Not quite straight.
Yeah, so that's why I was done there.
So maybe about 35 more seconds, we'll see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we paint and then wait for the paint to dry for fun, so, you know, see, it's me pushing in on the top has pushed it in on the bottom now. That's what I was fighting. Yeah, it's just slightly, ever so slightly off, but I think that it's okay if we keep it right here.
I
think we can let go. Okay.
Yeah, when we glue the one on top, we can squeeze that together.
Yeah. That is as good as it's gonna get. I'm going to carefully move this out of the way over here. There's no space over there. Whew. All right. Thank you. We have, yeah, nail painting. I like doing nail painting, but I end up getting my nails just completely screwed up all the time doing stuff like this. So it feels like such a waste from myself. Okay. We can do that twice more now.
Hmm.
But slightly harder because they're taller.
Yeah, we're going to try to glue them into here at the same time, or just glue them together and then insert.
I think actually what we need to do is, because we can't, we would have to hold them vertically like that. We should glue the floors on and just keep them even across.
Yeah.
And then once that's hardened and it's like that, then we have to do the sides.
Okay.
Or do the sides first. I don't think we can do them all at the same time. Because what I'm seeing is the problem going forward is that we don't have the ground here. We're going to have to hold them up in the air like this.
Or upside down.
Or we could do them upside down, but then the floor is going to drop out.
Yeah. Well, if we can keep them square, let's see what happens. Pick up the floor here. All right, this way or this way?
That sucks. Yeah. Culinary. I did culinary-ish stuff for a while. And, you know, with all the different restrictions, it can be.
That's okay. We'll just get a ruler. And as we hold it, measure the top and the bottom distance apart.
Yeah.
So that it's square.
Yep. That's the best we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, like, for example, it would need to angle like that.
Yeah.
But, all right.
So yeah, if we do it like that, it should work.
And then we'll be able to just glue by laying on like that.
Hopefully.
We could maybe do everything except one side.
Well, I mean, that would help line it up anyway if we did that.
Yeah, why don't we do it like that? So we're gluing the floor and one side here, like this. And then we go...
After it's set, we'll flip it over.
we flip it over and just do the last one.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right. Problem solving, plan making.
Toothpick kneading.
So we'll just need a little glue along the top and on one side, and we just need to make sure it's the right side on both pieces. So you're in like the cooking part of the culinary industry instead of the serving part. Yeah, I hear with like restaurants like that, you can be like working nonstop basically every week, and you just like get home and crash basically. I think the culinary industry is probably one of the toughest areas to work out there.
Okay, so I'm going to make enough for just one of these.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea. Yeah, it's like one day off a week, maybe, if you're lucky, probably. Ugh. That sounds really, really difficult. Working in the culinary world.
Yeah, I don't think people who go out to eat really appreciate the amount of work that's going into their meal.
Yeah, eating crisps for dinner. You know what? That's like, every once in a while, that's all you got the energy for, and that's okay. Especially when you're exhausted. So what we need to do is make sure whatever side you line it up on It's lined up on the opposite side. So because you're doing that, we'll need to do it on this side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Food service and culinary work is just so grueling. Nonstop. Because I think a lot of people don't know how many. Yeah, exactly. Being a chef is better. Like in college, I worked in a coffee shop, and like the morning shifts were just awful because it was a bunch of angry people who didn't want to go to work getting before they've had coffee.
Just hold that out.
Like,
and then this goes this way.
there's nothing enjoyable about that. And, you know, as a chef, you get to at least not deal with the public as often, hopefully. Because that can wear at you. A lot of people who are just angry and want to take it out on other people. Okay, so slide that in place like that.
Okay, I will hold this.
And now we will be placing this so it matches up with the bottoms. And I will be a little distracted for... Oh god, yeah. Working at Starbucks for years. Oh, that would... be like never ending. Does that look about right?
Yeah, you grab it down, rotate it this way.
Yeah, I can't really see both sides.
Yeah, I'll hold it up at the top.
I'll hold the feet together.
Yeah.
And then are we pushing the base down against it? Because it looks unflush on the bottom. Yeah, shove that in there. Alright.
It look like it's...
It looks like it's against the bottom. Much more exciting. And I said I was going to turn the music on and didn't. Just like after 5 minutes of doing this, I'll forget again. I'm extremely forgetful. That's a thing that I do. I make a lot of notes for myself. Yeah. We're disconnected from the floor now when you stopped holding it. Don't worry about the low glue. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, like that. Yeah. The floor needs to be pushed against it like you're doing. So. Especially like Starbucks in like a busy area where I worked at the coffee shop I worked at was near a hospital. And I worked the evening shift, and it was pretty much a nonstop stream of nurses getting coffee before their night shift. And they were generally pretty nice, which helps. I tried to avoid the morning shift like the plague because it was it was a drive-through too, so I still hear the beep in my ear sometimes. Like in my brain, like when I'm trying to sleep, you just like beep, all that all the time. Just trying to check the very bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the exciting world of gluing. Trying to move my hands so people can at least sort of see what's happening.
Well, we're holding stuff.
And then doing little beeps like that, yeah. I'm surprised that came through okay on the microphone. The beep. Oh. Okay. Do you think it's tacky soon?
Pretty soon. I'm just counting down another 30 seconds.
30 more seconds. Very exciting. Seeing paint dry.
Does it seem to be staying in place?
If you release the light. Yeah.
Okay.
The only downside is it's slightly glued to the table. There we go. All right, so we have most
We
of
have 3/4 of a thing.
3/4 of a thing that we'll set over here and let that dry a little more.
Now we're going to do another one. Just like that.
But we almost sort of learned our lesson doing the first one. So this piece will set inside. Did you clip my beep noise? Thank you.
Right. You said we're going to paint the bottoms before we.
I think we should paint each individual piece before we join them all together because it'll be way harder to reach.
Yeah.
The different parts, and there's nothing saying we can't paint them before gluing.
We can always do touching up.
Well, I hope other people enjoy my weird little beep noise.
I know you can make other noises too.
Yeah.
Go ahead, make noises.
What noises?
I don't know. Maybe you'll be famous as a noise.
As a little. Oh, I feel like I might have peaked with the beep.
Oh, Gerald McBoing Boing.
Huh? Is this an old person reference?
Old cartoons. Look it up. Gerald McBoing Boing could only speak in noises.
Most people can only speak in noises. Don't do that side.
No. Thank you.
Yep. Most people speak in noises, though.
No. I mean, like beeps and bells and things like that because he didn't have words.
You're just grumpy now. Have you done the top side yet?
I haven't done any side yet.
Okay. Oh, you're just matching it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to call him Gerald McBoing Boing.
I think that was actually his name. Came from the McBoing Boing family.
Yeah, air wiggles. You wiggle air with your throat and make little wiggles that come towards the camera, towards whatever it is you're talking to. Okay.
You do the top this time.
Something different. You want
No, that's just a mess.
to... I think you're just gonna need to... Also, you put it way too low. This whole section is supposed to be up here. Yeah. There you go. Match up the bottoms of the feet.
Okay, so other than getting it almost all completely wrong, that wasn't bad.
Almost completely having it wrong. It's perfect.
It needs to go up a little bit toward you.
Good?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Does it look like it's connected with the bottom? Oh, the bottom of the platform is connected with the support there? Of the actual floor?
Yeah. Okay, so now we just stay this way for like
10,
more than 2 minutes.
10 hours.
And then we can paint, huh? Once we put the other sides
Once
on.
we put the other sides on, our painting stream might have a little painting to it.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting painting, and it's going to be brown.
I think what we'll do is a mix of browns, though. I think we should do, like, with this part here that goes along the edge, I think, like, the inside should be different brown than, like, the outside. Like, the platform and the support structure should be, two browns.
You choose the browns. We have
a lot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 brown selections.
Mm-hmm.
Just 6 if you count that one on top. Is that the dark sand or something?
The top right? That's dark sand. Oh, so you have crisps and brownies. That's good. So you get both of the main food groups. Sounds like an alright, what is it, dinner there to me? How do you think we're holding?
Give it another minute.
Okay. Very exciting. Blue. So I have one more idea for the towers here when it comes to the ladders.
Mm-hmm.
I'll show you once we're done gluing.
Okay, we go and see what happens.
It's separated. There, that's better. Alright. I think that'll hold well enough.
Okay, we'll let that sit up, and then we'll glue the...
But we can look at these for the time being, because those need a minute to dry.
Yep, and then we'll stick the other sides on both of them.
The ladders that we have, these nice little ladders, in a guard tower, you would want to, you have them sitting there so you can climb up, but you also want someone's attacking, you want to be able to pull them up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we want to necessarily glue them in place.
Oh, no.
But to hold them, I'm thinking if we take like a toothpick and cut it, and just have like a little notch sticking out like that, basically, you can have a place to sort of let your ladder sit on.
That'll work.
You need chopsticks to eat pasta. Oh, you know. Actually, Lexi really likes well, we call them chips, but crisps in the UK. The potato chips here. Any sort of like bagged treat like that, like Cheetos, potato crisps, things like that.
Especially the ones that make your hands orange.
She uses chopsticks for them so that she doesn't have to clean her fingers constantly with all the grease or whatever is on them. So, do you like my the little ladder plan?
Yeah. So you want to just glue those on?
We can do that quick. So I get the chopstick thing.
Well, we'll wait for those to set up. We'll do it at the same time.
Yeah. So, well, we can plan out painting while we're. Oh, you use a skewer and just stab them? That's a good way to do it.
You want just like a little piece of this or a piece of toothpick?
That leg is considerably longer than all the others. It got
it slid.
I don't think that's moving.
It won't. You won't notice it.
Hopefully not. So, what I'm thinking is, if we do a lighter color in this in-between area, see? And these vertical slats.
Okay.
Do lighter there, and the floor. And then all of the wood supports and these triangular parts we'll do in like a darker wood color. I think that'll give a little more visual interest than just a big brown tower. Sort of mix it up a little. And we can have the floor be a separate color and everything.
There's little bits of wood.
But yeah, she likes to use chopsticks for all those little get your hands greasy. But I assume a skewer would work pretty much just as well, actually, as long as it doesn't fall apart. So, are you gonna want to glue the other?
Yeah, let's do both.
Do these sides like that. Luckily, these should be able to just sit on top. We shouldn't need to do a ton of holding. But we are.
But if we need to, we have alligator clips and toothpicks.
Close to done. We'll be placing the last side on like this. And like that. And it looks like it'll generally work. I hate the smell of the hardener so much.
Yeah, it's really awful.
It like hits my nose just the wrong way. It's bad. I don't even know how to describe how it smells. It's sort of like acrid. Ugh. So I think all you need to do is run some glue along from the bottom of the leg to the top here.
Yeah, right along here.
Yeah. All right. So while you're getting that glued, I will get them in place. carefully as I can.
You want to put your little tabs on the bottoms of those other ones?
I don't know what you mean. Sorry, I'm focused. One second.
Oh, for the ladders.
Oh, yeah, we can. Sorry, this is uneven and it's really throwing me off.
You want some alligator clips or something to hold them? Or toothpicks? Let's try those. Not toothpicks. Here, try this.
Okay. I think that's good.
Okay.
I might have you clip them on once they're in place. This one is
Not cooperating.
not cooperating very well. I'll make another one because that put too much pressure on and popped it down.
Mm-hmm. And put it way at the very bottom.
Yeah. It's pulling away now. Yeah, this is pulling in too much on this side, I think, because it's overlapping.
Better?
Yep. It's as good as it's gonna get. Alright. So, we can put little tabs on. If the glue is still holding.
Yes, I can still put some on.
We won't be able to put some on these right now.
You want tweezers to hold it?
No, just drop them.
Where do you want it on?
That side.
Right in the middle, like right
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Okay.
Same thing here?
Yeah. So these are our little ladder pegs. Yeah, time flies when you're meticulously gluing things, right? Speaking of which, let me actually turn the music on. We got a bunch of updates on our computer that really threw things off. Oh, you got it in?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Yeah, there's so much gluing, it just eats away the hours.
Well, yeah, it took an hour to do all that. That was...
There we go.
Now we can do brown painting.
Almost, yeah. We can always glue those tabs on later.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yikes, that pulled it way the hell off. That clip.
I'm going to take the clip off and put it somewhere else. Here, let me try.
Now that it's tacky, I'm just gonna have to do it by hand, I think. That got yanked off.
Okay. Well, it should be set in about a minute or less than 2 minutes.
You wanna check the other one?
That one seems to be holding out actually really quite well.
Then don't mess with it. You messed with it. Yeah, this is a little wonky here, but
Yeah.
that's just gonna be how it is.
Squeeze it again.
No, part of the problem is this. The part that's already set is like that.
Yeah.
It's not straight.
Mm-hmm.
Is the problem. Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is someone I follow on Twitter. They do a lot of bird conservation stuff. It's birdism. It's like Buddhism, but birds. They do a lot of really cute, nerdy bird designs, you know. So I like them a lot. They tweet a lot about just like taking care of birds, being a responsible bird owner, that sort of thing. I'm a big bird fan, so I don't keep birds as pets because they're very, very difficult, but in a major, like, that's what you do. But I do like looking at pictures and stuff of birds, so. But yeah. It's a fun little thing. I bought a couple shirts and stuff from them that they produce, so. I like them.
So for these, you're thinking these and the inside should be lighter,
Yeah, like buff maybe.
so really light.
Mm-hmm.
What about the floor and the inside?
The floor will also be buff.
Mm-hmm. And the insides,
We'll make that the wood color, the darker wood color.
which will be like
Red brown. Yeah.
Okay. So Nikki and I like to do these differently. I like to paint the high surfaces and then paint up to them. And she likes to paint the low surfaces and paint down to them.
Yeah, direct opposite on our approach.
So I'm going to paint the high surfaces, you said red-brown, right?
Yeah, and I'll paint the low surfaces buff.
And we'll see what happens.
Well, they'll both get painted is what will happen.
Mm-hmm. So this being uneven on top isn't a big problem. Should I file this off so it's even on the bottom, or doesn't? No, no one's going to see it. So this gets painted buff, but the insides of this are painted the dark brown.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah. I think whatever way works for whoever is painting is the right way to do it. So, you know, we'll see how it goes. But
What do you want to do with these spikes on the ends?
paint them brown for now, and we might add some detailing later.
Yeah, it's like the end of a post or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, our painting stream might actually have a little painting in it. That's exciting.
We are painting on the painting stream.
So I'm putting in the lighter toned buff. Pretty much everything I think is ending up gonna have a umber wash on it, just to get it that sort of rough look. Ultimately, but for the time being, we'll just get some of the basics in. Get that base coat in. And it's nice to be doing structural pieces instead of extremely detailed horses for once. I've been... Yeah, you do painting. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I find I have to go the opposite way personally, where I like doing all the details, but if I don't get all of the overall stuff done first, I'll just make a mess. I'll have a very detailed thing that's completely like askew. That's how I find when I'm doing more like traditional art stuff. I always have to sketch it a lot before I can dive into anything and build it up to the point where I can do detail work. Getting a little paint on these will make them look pretty nice though. Even just getting the base coat on before they're sort of shaded and finished and everything. And these will make nice little guard / bandit towers that maybe we'll have to fight someone up in it. Ugh, yeah, no, I feel you there. Yeah, I find if I don't fill in these low areas first, I won't be able to get them up to the edges. Oh, you broke your wrist, yikes. Yeah, that would make doing culinary work extremely difficult, I imagine. At least in the UK, you have relatively, like, good healthcare, right? I think. I don't know. I don't keep too much up with Oh, do you do like the pan flip thing? That's always really cool. That would create a giant mess if I tried to do it.
The underside's going to be lighter, like the top.
They can be, yeah. That seems fine.
I'm just checking before I start slopping a bunch of paint on it.
That's nice. I like to cook, and I do a lot of, I cook dinner pretty much a lot of the time and everything. I'm not good at all the fancy stuff that require good coordination. I definitely make pancakes with a spatula. Okay, just moving along with our wood paint here. And then once these are all painted up, we'll get to join them all together. Maybe we'll do a little test here in a minute to make sure they actually fit and we don't have a huge problem. How's your brown going? Brown paint.
Turning things brown.
And I'm doing the opposite part. I am curious because these should be dry now, hopefully. How bad is this gonna be? Let's see. Hey, that kind of works.
Yeah.
So this is a good view of where we're going. Have a nice big giant tower. Hopefully the ladder is big enough. Yeah. So for now, I'm gonna set these guys aside because they'll need to be painted as well before we can really dig into it. Alright. Keep going around with the paint here. The nice part of putting in base coats like this is you can go pretty quick.
And be messy.
And be fairly messy. And you don't have to focus. And that's one of the nicer parts with a lot of terrain pieces, honestly, is that your level of detail never really hits anywhere near what like a character figure does. So you can generally be a little more loose with getting things in. So I'm not worrying too much about getting some spots on areas where I know I'm going to be painting over in a brown later. And just keep it going, basically. And we'll see how far we can get on the painting part of these towers. And I'm guessing we'll want them to dry and everything before we glue the tops and the bottoms together. But I think even just adding this two-tone to the tower is going to make it look a lot more distinctive than if it was just
all brown.
All brown. Which you would get some texturing and like some of the lines and stuff, but it wouldn't have the same effect, I don't think. So. Last side to do here. And then I'll do the floor of the tower. These are actually going to be fairly formidably tall towers, because I think like 5, 10. These are probably like 40 or 50 foot tall towers.
Yeah, they're very big.
They should make a very impressive scene for any sort of fight that we might end up doing on them. We'll see. Add some real verticality to a battle, though. That's always really nice in D&D or any role-playing game, is sort of bringing that third dimension into a fight. You're not just running around on a dungeon floor. But maybe there's like a tower or a cliff or something to really give you a extra boost. Okay, so I have all the sides painted with this sort of beige buff, it's called. So now, this is going to take quite a lot of paint, but I'm going to start getting all of this floor painted in. Sort of cruising along, getting all of this in. And then when we put an umber wash over them, it'll really bring out the lines in like the floor and all of the different parts of this.
Especially when you do it on the lighter brown colors.
That's sort of why I was thinking having the floor be this buff color. Just spreading all this along the way. Oh, you have your cat there? Nice. Yeah, I'm surprised the cats haven't come in and bothered us today.
No, I tried to call one down, but he wasn't coming off the couch.
Yeah. It's, our cats are well, one of our cats sleeps for like, does the cat thing and really sleeps for like 20 hours a day. And then like, oh, is your cat doing that chirpy thing? Ours do that at birds and stuff. Out the window.
Yeah, that kind of chirpy teeth clicking kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that never really makes sense, because if they're really hunting, that kind of like gives them away.
Yeah, I wonder why they do that. One big beige floor. Almost done. Okay. So I have sides done and this floor. You know, that's sort of true. We have a variety. In our house here, we do have sort of separating rooms for the kitchen and family room and stuff. But there's a lot of houses, especially out west, that do like an open concept, it's called, where like the kitchen and the kitchen and like the dining room slash and like living room and all that family room are all one large room basically, with maybe like an island divider between them. I don't personally really like it. Oh yeah, we have almost a lot of houses in America have porches. Depending on where you are, some more than others. We have a porch out back that we're redoing right now, out in our woods. I mean, if you're in the city or something, you might have a balcony and that's it. But yeah, porches are pretty common in America. I don't really know why, just is. Yeah, and it's those are things like growing up here you never really think about, like, and why we have certain architecture the way that it is.
Yeah, for a while, suburban houses lost their porches. And they turned into decks in the backyard.
Yeah, we have it's technically a deck in the backyard around here at our house, but like our neighbors on that side have a porch and stuff. I would say they're fairly standard. I think the open concept kitchen living room thing is a little less standard, but it is popular.
Yeah. For some reason, people think it's a really cool thing to look at your dirty dishes. I don't quite understand, but...
Oh yeah, because you're driving on the wrong side, on a different side of the road there. Wrong side of the road.
Almost said wrong.
Almost, yeah. In the UK, though, driving on the left-hand side of the road, I should say.
Yeah, I've driven that a couple of times.
Yeah, you drove in the UK.
Yeah, quite a bit. It's
disconcerting.
Yeah, at first it's a challenge, especially with a stick shift. When
you have it on the wrong side.
The other side,
yeah,
of where you're used to having it. At least the shift pattern stays the same, but
everything's reversed.
Everything is reversed. Yeah, that was kind of a challenge. I only had trouble with actually right turns.
Oh, right turns were your trouble?
Yeah, because you're going across traffic, turning right.
Which is just completely opposite of what feels natural.
Yeah. And, I think I upset
a number of people.
Well, the truck driver anyway, and or a lorry, I guess you call it, and a bus. Somebody was honking your horn at me. Crossing the street as a pedestrian, though, I think was actually more challenging than driving.
Oh, just being used to expecting traffic to come from one way or another. Because you're so used to it. I can see that.
Yeah, I think probably more dangerous moments stepping out into traffic that wasn't there than driving.
driving in China, yeah, I imagine that. Well, I don't even know what the roads are like in China. I guess it depends a lot on where in China you are. There's probably a big difference between city and rural and all of that. Okay. I think I have my buff on.
Yeah, I'm almost done with this if you want to use it next.
That sounds intense. You haven't driven, but you've been on the roads in like Egypt, right, Ben?
Oh, yeah.
And like Libya.
Jeez. Egypt and Lebanon.
Lebanon, that's right.
Yeah, there are really no traffic signals, and if there are,
they're completely ignored.
They're irrelevant. There's this sort of like a game of chicken at the intersections and things. Apparently, if you've been driving there long enough, you kind of know what the rules are. But it's pretty exciting. Crossing the street's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
there are no crosswalks.
My brother lived in Egypt and worked there as a reporter for what?
Oh, he was there for like 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
During the Arab Spring, he got to cover that whole thing. He actually covered the war in Libya. That was kind of scary.
And the civil war in Sudan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then
he got to do a lot of...
And he didn't want to be in war zones anymore.
Yeah, he wanted to move out of area. He kept getting put into war zones for reporting. Didn't really ever plan to be doing any of that, but...
Got paid pretty well.
But he, I think he got a little burnt out.
He really got tired of it when, I don't know if you remember, Morsi was elected in Egypt, part of the Muslim Brotherhood. And then there was a military coup that knocked him out of office, and you didn't really hear about it too much in the U.S., but they killed many hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm.
And they piled all the bodies up in one of the mosques.
Which is an extremely pleasant subject to be talking about on a relaxing painting stream.
Yeah. Anyway, that's when he decided he was never going to do that again.
Yeah.
But driving, the experience...
That's what I was trying to talk about.
There was an experience... I don't know if you've ever been... Well, you've seen adventure movies and things where there's like chase scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're driving along a road and a baby carriage comes out, and then a big garbage truck pulls in front of you, and then there's people sitting on the side of the road on benches, just sort of sitting there. And the road is sort of badly paved with a lot of potholes and things. We actually had a cab ride that was like that in Egypt. I mean, all of the tropes that you would have in one of these down a narrow street chase scenes where dangerous things are happening and popping out. And it was scary, actually. Well, there's a lot of little spots to miss on these things.
Yeah, I'm assuming we're going to have to do more than one pass at each of these towers here.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird little surface areas for this brown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially with the legs, how they're glued together, I'm betting.
Mm-hmm. But I think I got a lot of it, so if you want to do some brown painting...
Yeah, we'll swap.
I'll do some buff painting.
And then we'll swap again.
At least I'll do the floors, I think.
Yeah, looks like it's dried out.
Yeah.
So. I'm gonna be a little careful here, and I'm just trying to make this delineation between the floor and the side of the wall. Before I dig too much into that, I'm gonna change our prints.
Yeah, I'm not feeling much like doing detail painting, so I am just going to paint the giant floors, which just have 4 edges, which I think I can get pretty well with even this brush. Which holds a lot of paint.
Okay, back to it. Got some prints running. Alright. So the only thing I have to be careful of is when I don't wanna get paint up onto the floor. So as I go along here, I'm gonna do sort of a thing where I put the brush in on the piece and then slide it up to where I want it. And that gives me this sort of space gap, and it defines the line for me beforehand, so that if I get paint all over myself like this, if I end up, it gives me more room to work, basically, which is can be very useful. Okay, so that helps me approach the floor without having a huge mess on my hands. And there might be 1 or 2 spots to touch up as I go along, but it's a lot less than it might have been if I was less careful. And I'm just gonna go around the whole way like this. And we are closing in on 5, about 15 more minutes, so I think we're just gonna see how far we can get on this painting. And when we come back, we'll finish painting and maybe even glue it all together. That would be exciting. It's nice to go back to doing some set pieces though, after a bunch of fancy horses and cats and ox and animals and stuff that I've been painting for a little while here. Sort of a little break and return to some of the easier stuff. Although you have 1 horse that you haven't finished yet, don't you? I'm just gonna linger there haunting you.
Yeah. It'll be the forever horse.
A ghost horse. Alright, so I have the outside edges painted, or the area where the floor meets the wall painted. So now I'm just going to work out from there and fill in the rest of this inside portion and see how long that takes me. This actually is a little deceptive in that it eats up a lot more paint than it looks like, because it has some graininess to the print, and so the surface area is deceptively large. So in order to get it covered properly, I'm ending up having to use a little more paint than you might expect. But I can go a fair bit quicker now that I've defined that edge, because I don't need to worry about getting up to the edge without and making a giant mess for myself.
No, I made a mess.
You made a mess? Oh, that's always part of it, isn't it? So, there's what an inside section sort of looks like, with some basic painting in it. And I just need to keep going around. And doing stuff like this, it's actually, other than being a little bit of a headache to glue together, getting set pieces like this, if you're doing sort of a D&D game or other role-playing game where you're doing combat fairly regularly, they can just add a lot to the game, because you can sort of move out of theater of the mind and actually see what's in it, what's there. And I think these towers will pair really well with our palisade pieces that we have, actually. Okay, there's two.
No, I left myself with a bunch of touch-up to do, but I won't do that until I do the insides of the zigzags, because I know after that
There'll be even more touch-up.
There'll be a lot of touch-up.
And that's just part of it. Some of this, like, the paint ran a little, and I'll have to touch up the inside of the floor. And that'll be a lot less painful to do after the paint has had a good chance to dry fully. If I wasn't painting for a show, there would probably be a lot more like, well, just set that aside and wait. Than I do here, but because I don't want to have things sort of stall out and be a little boring,
No, we don't want to be boring. No.
boringer. I end up painting stuff that, it probably could have used an extra minute or two to dry, but want to keep things going.
Yeah, no, I just keep stopping paint on places where it shouldn't go.
Because that's sort of where you're at right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the paint wasn't quite dry, so it's kind of running underneath.
Mm-hmm. And that's sort of the danger of going quick and not letting your paint dry properly. But, it is what it is.
Okay, well, there's a floor.
So I have the insides painted here, and some of the paint ran down a little bit onto the floor, but it's not too bad.
Well, we can compare our insides. They look almost the same.
And since we don't have too much time left, what I'm actually gonna do is put some paint on the legs here so that they have a good while to dry, so that when I come back, I don't have to deal with wet painted legs.
Yeah, you'll have a place to grab
while I'm doing other stuff. So, I'm not gonna go all the way up them, but I just want to get a nice brown base coat on the leg portions of the tower here.
I'm going to...
At least 3 of them. I don't know if I'm going to try and do the 4th. And as part of that, I am painting the balsa wood, so it'll all blend in as a single piece.
Yeah, it looks... You can see that it makes the balsa just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
I've done it here on the inside of mine. You can see that. And those little supports are gone.
Which is what we want. We want it to all look like one large cohesive piece.
But the way those things are printed, there wasn't...
there wasn't quite enough room.
That had to be done in order to get them glued, because there wasn't any surfaces to glue in.
So, I'm just gonna get these 3 legs glued, except all of them except the one I'm actively holding right now. By glued, I mean painted.
Mm-hmm. We knew that.
And I think once I get that, we can call it good. And if you want to start cleaning up, that's okay.
Cleaning the brush.
You can
a little isopropyl alcohol here. You might want to use that
for the
after
brush.
the water. Yeah, just to get it clean. Yeah. Put those back on so I can see. Get rid of the epoxy. One thing we're not very good about is keeping our work surface neat and clean.
No.
I mean, it's not dirty. It's just
cluttered.
Stuff everywhere.
Yeah, that's one of those practices that's probably good to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't.
Yeah, we do a lot of things that you probably, could do better by
just taking your time and
getting different things to hold your material with. We got a couple. We'll have to try those sometime, see how they work.
oh yeah, the painting handles.
Mm-hmm.
those don't really work. Those are more for model, like character figures and things.
Yeah,
For this sort of work, there's not a great way to do it.
we do have alligator clips.
But using gloves, for example, is another. Just some like nitrile gloves.
Or just be lazy and get paint on your fingers and try not to slop it everywhere.
Or get it in your mouth.
Don't eat your fingers.
No.
No matter how chocolatey it looks.
This actually does look like milk chocolate.
Yeah, it does. It's a really nice color.
Okay. So, I just put brown on the bottom legs here for these three so that they'll dry and I have a surface I can handle when I come back to paint more of it. And we'll just keep swapping back and forth.
And he's going to be like that
red-brown. Because they're going to be in the middle, so I want them to visually set off from the floor.
Mm-hmm. Some really, these must be for the upper, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to work. We'll see. But we're not gluing them in, so they're just going to sit like that on those pegs when you want them. That way, if they get pulled up by whatever guards are in the tower, you can actually pull them up.
Not just pretend.
Just giving this brush a nice proper clean since we have some of this here.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by and watching. And yeah, we will be back on Friday with
more painting.
More painting, and I don't know. We'll see. And keep an eye out on our social media. We will be doing another giveaway pretty soon here. That's tied into our Halloween special. And our Halloween special is going to be airing Halloween weekend, that Saturday and Sunday. It's a two-parter. We filmed it.
It's amazing.
It was really fun.
It really is. Yeah, it was great fun to do it.
So keep an eye out for that. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.